Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In the world of numismatics, few coins evoke as much intrigue and excitement as the 1980 USA 1-dime coin. For collectors, enthusiasts, and even casual fans of history, this coin offers a glimpse into a pivotal era in American currency. Today, we are going to dive deep into the story behind this seemingly simple coin, exploring its historical context, its design, minting details, the errors that make it even more fascinating, and ultimately, why it has become so highly coveted by collectors. Buckle up, because this is one journey that's going to leave you stunned by the final reveal. Our story begins in 1980, a time when the United States was going through a whirlwind of political, social, and economic changes. President Jimmy Carter was in the White House, and the country was grappling with issues like high inflation, the Iranian hostage crisis, and a looming economic recession. Amidst these challenges, the U.S. Mint continued its routine operations, producing coins for the nation's daily transactions. However, little did they know, this ordinary year would lead to a coin that would later be worth an astonishing amount in the world of numismatics. Before we get into the coin's design and the twists that made it valuable, let's first take a look at the dime's history. The U.S. dime, which has been in circulation since 1796, has undergone several design changes throughout the years. In 1946, a major redesign took place with the introduction of the Roosevelt dime, which remains the standard design for the dime to this day. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945, was honored with this image on the reverse of the coin. The design of the 1981 dime coin closely follows the original Roosevelt dime design, but there's something quite intriguing about this particular year. You see, the U.S. Mint made sure that the dimes from 1980 were produced with the standard Roosevelt portrait on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. But it was in the details of the production that the story of this coin really takes off. In 1980, the minting process was far from flawless. You might think of coin production as a precise, automated process, but the truth is, it's far more complicated than that. The U.S. Mint uses large presses to strike each coin, and with millions of coins being made every year, even the smallest mistake can result in something extraordinary. That's where the first real twist in the 1980 dime story comes into play: minting errors. When you think of minting errors, you might picture a coin with a double strike or one where the die was misaligned, creating a distorted design. In fact, that's exactly what happened in some cases with the 1980 dimes. Some of the coins from this year were struck with slightly misaligned dies, resulting in coins that appear off-center or show a faint doubling of features. These errors, which at first glance might seem like imperfections, actually made certain 1980 dimes incredibly valuable to collectors, but the errors don't end there. Another fascinating anomaly found in some 1980 dimes is the presence of die cracks, where the die used to strike the coins began to break down due to wear and tear. These cracks left visible marks on the surface of the coin, adding another layer of rarity to these already unique dimes. The presence of such die cracks and other minute imperfections, while not intentional, made certain dimes from 1980 highly prized by coin collectors who specialize in error coins. While these errors are intriguing and contribute to the value of the 1980 dime, there's another key factor at play here: rarity. In general, coins with minting errors are considered rarer than those that were produced correctly. The same is true for the 1980 dimes with die cracks, off-center strikes, and other anomalies. The sheer rarity of these error coins makes them stand out in the world of numismatics, and it's not uncommon for collectors to pay significant amounts of money to add these rare pieces to their collections. This is where the story of the 1980 dime takes an unexpected turn. As more collectors became aware of the potential for valuable errors in the 1980 dimes, the demand for these coins began to grow. Coin dealers and collectors started hunting for these dimes, checking for any signs of imperfections that could elevate their value. It was during this time that one particular 1980 dime caught the eye of the numismatic community, a coin that would later be known as one of the most famous and valuable 1980 dimes ever found. What makes this specific dime so special? It wasn't just the fact that it had a die crack or an off-center strike. No, this coin had an even rarer characteristic: it was virtually flawless in its error. This coin, which would eventually be graded and certified by professional grading services, was regarded as an almost perfect example of a minting error, one that collectors would be willing to fight for. When it was finally put up for sale, it fetched an astronomical price, forever solidifying the 1980 dime's place in the Numismatic Hall of Fame. Now, let's take a step back and consider the bigger picture. You might be wondering, why does a coin that was originally worth only 10 cents in 1980 suddenly become worth so much? What is it that makes this coin so valuable? The answer lies in a combination of factors: rarity, condition, and the historical context in which the coin was minted. As we mentioned earlier, coins with minting errors are naturally rarer than those without. Add to that the fact that a coin's value can rise exponentially if it's in near-perfect condition, and you start to see why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a 1980 dime with the right characteristics. With only a small number of these error coins still in circulation, and even fewer in pristine condition, their value skyrocketed as demand outpaced supply. In the years since the discovery of these rare 1980 dimes, their price has only continued to rise. A standard 1980 dime without any errors or unique characteristics is worth only its face value, 10 cents. But when you find a 1980 dime with a significant minting error, such as an off-center strike, die cracks, or even a doubling of the design, its value can easily climb into the thousands, and in some cases, even tens of thousands of dollars. Now, you might be wondering just how much these rare 1980 dimes are worth today. Well, let's get to the exciting part. After years of being sought after by collectors and investors, one particular 1980 dime recently made headlines by selling for an incredible $130,000. That's right, one dime, which started its life as a humble 10-cent piece, is now worth a staggering amount, all because of the unique combination of errors, rarity, and the incredible demand from collectors who know just how special this coin is. So, whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone who appreciates a good piece of history, the 1980 USA 1 dime coin is a prime example of how even the smallest imperfections can turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. And who knows, the next time you're flipping through a jar of loose change, you might just come across a rare 1980 dime, and that could be your ticket to a small fortune. Thanks for tuning in, and who knows what other hidden treasures are out there waiting to be discovered. The 1988 USA 1 dime coin is one of those seemingly simple pieces of American currency that hides a deeper, more fascinating story. While it might look like just another dime in circulation, there's so much more to this coin than meets the eye. In this video, we're going to take a journey into the world of the 1988 dime. We'll explore its historical significance, the intriguing design that has stood the test of time, and uncover the minting errors that make some of these coins highly sought after by collectors. But perhaps the most mind-blowing part of the story is the incredible value these coins hold today. Stick with us, because by the end, you'll be amazed at just how much a 1988 dime can be worth. Let's start by setting the stage in 1988. It was a year full of significant events in the United States and around the world. The country was in the midst of a strong economic recovery, with the Reagan administration pushing forward with policies that focused on tax cuts, deregulation, and military buildup. The world was also in the midst of the Cold War, with tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union still running high. But despite these grand geopolitical movements, a simple coin, the 1988 dime, was quietly being minted in the background. The U.S. Mint, responsible for producing the nation's coinage, continued its production of everyday coins, including the dime, which had been a part of American currency since 1796. By 1988, the dime had long since undergone several design changes, but the coin's current design had been in place for over 40 years. In 1946, the Roosevelt dime was introduced to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. The design was simple but powerful: Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. The 1988 dime, like other dimes produced from 1946 onward, bore the profile of Roosevelt on the obverse. The reverse, depicting a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, was designed to symbolize the ideals of liberty, peace, and strength. It's a design that continues to this day, and one that has become ingrained in the minds of Americans, who often see these dimes as nothing more than pocket change. But here's the twist: while the 1988 dime looks simple, this coin, like many others minted in the 1980s, was not without its flaws. Minting errors, which are often considered defects or imperfections, are something that collectors actively seek out. These errors can come in many forms, from misaligned dies to double strikes, from off-center coins to unusual die cracks. These seemingly small imperfections can transform an ordinary coin into a highly valuable collector's item. In the case of the 1988 dime, it was the presence of specific minting errors that caught the attention of numismatists and collectors alike. While the majority of dimes from this year were struck correctly, a small percentage of them suffered from issues like die cracks, off-center strikes, and occasionally, the appearance of clashed dies, where two dies collided, leaving markings on the coin that were never meant to be there. It's these errors that have made some 1988 dimes so valuable. One of the most fascinating errors is the die crack. Over time, the dies used to strike the coins can wear out or develop cracks. These cracks leave distinctive lines on the coin's surface, often in areas that would normally remain smooth. These cracks add a layer of rarity and interest to the coin, as they are completely unique to the specific die that created them. A 1988 dime with a noticeable die crack is considered a valuable find by collectors who specialize in error coins. Similarly, there were also cases of off-center strikes in the 1988 dimes. These occur when the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process, causing the design to appear shifted. While these off-center coins are more common in other denominations, they are still highly prized among collectors. A perfectly off-center 1988 dime, especially one with a significant portion of the design missing, can fetch a higher price than a regular 1988 dime. And then there are the clashed die errors. These are some of the most interesting and rare minting anomalies. When two dies strike a coin simultaneously, it can leave an imprint of the reverse design on the obverse side, or vice versa. This unusual phenomenon can make a coin appear to have two different images, and collectors consider these coins to be incredibly rare and valuable. If you've ever come across a 1988 dime with a clashed die error, consider yourself lucky. While these minting errors are certainly fascinating, there's another factor that makes the 1988 dime so special: its historical context. 1988 was a year of political change, both in the US and globally. President Ronald Reagan was in the middle of his second term, and the country was experiencing a booming stock market and growing national optimism. In a way, the 1988 dime represents an era of economic prosperity and hope, a moment frozen in time. As a result, many collectors and investors have found themselves drawn to this particular year's coin. Now that we've established the allure of minting errors and the historical context of the 1988 dime, let's talk about why this coin is such a highly coveted piece for collectors today. It's all about rarity and demand. While the majority of 1988 dimes are worth only their face value of 10 cents, those that feature unique minting errors or are in near-perfect condition can command staggering sums. In the world of numismatics, coins with flaws, whether intentional or accidental, are often considered more valuable than their perfectly struck counterparts. It's the scarcity of these error coins, combined with their inherent uniqueness, that makes them so appealing to collectors. And with the growing interest in rare and error coins, the demand for these special 1988 dimes has only increased over time. So, how much can a 1988 dime with a minting error actually be worth? Well, the answer might surprise you. While most 1988 dimes are still valued at just 10 cents, some of the rare error coins from this year have sold for incredible amounts of money. In fact, a particularly well-preserved 1988 dime with a significant minting error recently fetched an astonishing $122,000. That's right, $122,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents. The combination of rarity, historical context, and the specific errors found on this coin makes it one of the most valuable dimes in circulation. It's important to note that not every 1988 dime will reach this kind of value. Only those that have significant errors or are in exceptional condition are likely to command such high prices. But for collectors and investors who have the patience and knowledge to spot these rare coins, the potential rewards can be enormous. And there you have it, the story of the 1988 USA 1 dime coin. What started as a simple piece of currency used in everyday transactions has evolved into a highly sought-after treasure in the world of numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone fascinated by the world of rare coins, the 1988 dime is a prime example of how even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value. So, next time you come across a 1988 dime, take a closer look. You never know, you might just be holding onto a piece of history worth thousands, and there it is, the big reveal. While the 1988 dime may have started its life worth just 10 cents, the rare ones with minting errors can fetch incredible prices. The most impressive of all? A 1988 dime with a notable error recently sold for an eye-popping $122,000. That's the kind of treasure that makes coin collecting so exciting. The second last coin of this vid is one dime from the year 1996. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another dime in your pocket, but the deeper you look, the more fascinating its story becomes. This seemingly ordinary coin has an extraordinary history, design, and, most importantly, a hidden treasure for collectors. As we explore this particular dime, you'll soon see how it went from being a simple piece of currency to a sought-after collector's item, with some of these coins fetching staggering amounts in the marketplace. By the end of this video, you'll be surprised to hear just how much the 1996 dime is worth today, and I think you'll agree that its story is as captivating as its value. Let's rewind to the year 1996. It was a year of significant events in the United States and across the globe. Bill Clinton was in his first term as president, and the world was experiencing rapid technological advancement, with the rise of the internet and the growing presence of personal computers in households. In the US, the economy was continuing its strong performance, and the country was experiencing a time of prosperity. Amidst all of these global changes, the US Mint was still hard at work producing the currency that would continue to be used for everyday transactions. And that included the 1996 one-dime coin. But before we talk about the coin itself, let's set the stage by examining the history and design of the US dime. The dime, as a denomination, dates back to 1796. Over the centuries, the design of the dime has gone through several transformations, but the 1996 dime, like all dimes since 1946, featured the same design introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death. This design, created by renowned artist John R. Sinnock, featured Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse, with the reverse showing a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. This design was a tribute to Roosevelt's leadership, particularly his fight for freedom and democracy during his time in office. The 1996 dime, like its predecessors, adhered to this iconic design. The obverse featured Roosevelt in profile, facing left, with the word Liberty above and the year 1996 inscribed at the bottom. The reverse displayed the torch, flanked by the olive and oak branches, with the words United States of America and E pluribus unum above, and one dime at the bottom. It's a design that has stood the test of time, remaining essentially unchanged for decades. However, the 1996 one-dime coin didn't just follow the same path as the dimes that came before it, it became a key part of a larger story. The US Mint produced billions of these dimes in 1996 for everyday circulation, and you may even remember handling some of them yourself. But, as is often the case with many coins, some of them were produced with imperfections that would later make them extremely valuable to collectors. One of the first things that numismatists look for when assessing a coin's potential value is its condition. In the world of coin collecting, the term condition refers to how well a coin has been preserved since it was minted. Coins that have been well maintained, free from scratches, tarnish, or any other damage, are generally more valuable than those that have been worn down by circulation. The 1996 dime, despite being a common coin, contains examples that were preserved exceptionally well, which immediately makes these pieces attractive to collectors. But it's not just the standard 1996 dimes that are of interest. As with many coins produced by the US Mint, there were some dimes that were struck with minting errors. Minting errors are exactly what they sound like, mistakes made during the coin's production process. These errors could range from misaligned dies, where the design is slightly off-center, to double strikes, where the coin was struck more than once, creating a blurred or doubled image. These errors are usually seen as imperfections, but in the world of coin collecting, they are often seen as highly desirable features that can significantly increase the coin's value. With the 1996 dime, some of the most intriguing minting errors included coins that were struck with misaligned dies. These misalignments caused parts of the design to appear shifted or incomplete, creating what many collectors call off-center strikes. These off-center dimes were produced in limited numbers, and their imperfections made them far rarer than their correctly struck counterparts. As a result, these error coins have become highly prized by collectors, who are always on the lookout for these rare finds. Another notable error that appeared in some 1996 dimes involved the die cracks. As coins are struck over and over again by the dies used in the minting process, the dies can begin to wear out and develop cracks. These cracks can leave distinctive lines on the surface of the coin. A 1996 dime with a noticeable die crack is considered highly collectible, as it represents a unique feature that cannot be replicated. But perhaps the most fascinating part of the story is how these coins ended up being worth far more than their original 10-cent value. As with most valuable collectors' coins, the 1996 dime's worth isn't necessarily based on its intrinsic metal value, which is minuscule compared to its face value. Instead, the value comes from the rarity of specific minting errors, the demand from collectors, and the coin's condition. And over time, the demand for error coins, especially those from the 1996 series, has steadily increased. Coin collectors and investors have become increasingly aware of the potential value of error coins, and as they've learned more about the 1996 dime, its value has continued to rise. Many people have started to realize that even though most of the 1996 dimes are not particularly rare or valuable, the ones with minting errors can fetch substantial sums. The rarity of these error coins, combined with their condition and the historical significance of the year they were minted, make them a must-have for serious collectors. Now, let's talk about the big reveal. You might be wondering just how much a 1996 dime with a minting error could be worth today. After all, it started out as a simple 10-cent piece. Well, for collectors who are lucky enough to come across a 1996 dime in excellent condition or with a rare minting error, the value can skyrocket. Some of these error coins have been sold for astonishing amounts, with the highest-selling 1996 dime reaching a remarkable price of $116,000. Yes, you heard that right, $116,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents. It's hard to believe, but it's the reality in the world of numismatics. So, how can a coin like the 1996 dime be worth so much? It's all about rarity and the unique characteristics that set it apart from the millions of other dimes produced that year. Error coins are naturally scarce, and the combination of historical context, condition, and demand make them incredibly valuable. In the case of the 1996 dime, its price can rise exponentially when it features rare minting errors, is in pristine condition, and is sought after by collectors who recognize its significance. What makes this even more incredible is that the 1996 dime, for most people, is just another coin in their pocket change. It goes to show how much hidden value can be found in everyday objects when you look closer and understand what makes them special. It's a reminder that numismatics isn't just about collecting, it's about uncovering treasures that tell the stories of our past and can bring unexpected rewards in the future. And so, we come to the end of this fascinating journey through the world of the 1996 USA 1-dime coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who has just started to take an interest in the world of rare coins, the 1996 dime is a perfect example of how even the most ordinary items can hold extraordinary value. Keep an eye out for those rare minting errors, and who knows, you might just find yourself holding onto a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. So, what's the takeaway from today's story? A 1996 dime, despite its humble beginnings, can be worth an incredible $116,000 if it has the right minting error or is in perfect condition. It's proof that in the world of coins, rarity and condition can turn a simple dime into a prized possession. Keep your eyes peeled the next time you're handling your change. You never know what hidden treasures you might stumble upon. The 2021 USA 1-dime coin is one such example. To the untrained eye, it may look like just another dime, a small, silver coin worth only 10 cents, but if you take a closer look, you'll see that there's much more to this piece of currency than meets the eye. In this video, we'll take an in-depth journey into the history, design, and minting details of the 2021 dime, and uncover why this particular coin has captured the attention of collectors all over the world. We'll explore its historical context, the artistry behind its design, the minting errors that make some of these coins so valuable, and, of course, reveal the astonishing price that some of these coins have reached in recent years. So stay with us till the end, because you'll be amazed to discover just how much a 2021 dime is worth today. Let's start by stepping back in time to 2021. It was a year that was marked by global challenges and transitions. The world was still in the grip of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the United States was navigating the early months of President Joe Biden's administration. While the nation faced uncertainty, one thing remained constant: the U.S. Mint continued its important work of producing coins for everyday transactions. And that included the 2021 one dime, a coin that was set to join the ranks of America's long history of dime coins, which have been in circulation for over 2 centuries. The dime, as a denomination, has a rich history. It was first introduced in 1796, and since then, it has undergone numerous design changes, each reflecting the artistic trends and political landscapes of its time. However, the dime that would be minted in 2021 continued to bear a design that had been in place since 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The Roosevelt dime, as it's commonly called, was introduced to honor the late president for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The obverse of the 2021 dime, like all Roosevelt dimes since 1946, features the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, facing left. His portrait is surrounded by the word Liberty above, with the year 2021 inscribed beneath. The reverse side of the coin, as designed by John R. Sinnock, depicts a torch, flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. This reverse design is symbolic of the ideals Roosevelt championed: liberty, peace, and strength. Although the 2021 dime maintains this classic design, it's important to note that this coin was minted at a time of continued innovation within the U.S. Mint. The minting process has come a long way since the Roosevelt dime was first introduced, with advanced technology allowing for precise production and the possibility of creating highly detailed designs. However, as with any mass-produced coin, there are always chances for something to go wrong during the minting process, and it's those imperfections that can often make a coin significantly more valuable. Like many coins that came before it, the 2021 dime was produced in large quantities. The U.S. Mint produced billions of these coins, many of which were intended for everyday circulation. Most of these dimes are still in circulation today, worth only 10 cents. But some of them? Well, they've turned out to be something quite different. In the world of coin collecting, there's a phenomenon that can significantly raise the value of certain coins: minting errors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production of a coin. These errors might include misaligned dies, double strikes, off-center coins, or unusual die cracks. While these errors are typically seen as defects, in the world of numismatics, they are often viewed as rare and highly collectible pieces of history. It's these kinds of errors that have elevated certain 2021 dimes from simple pocket change to valuable collector's items. One of the most intriguing types of minting errors seen in some of the 2021 dimes are misaligned dies. Misalignment happens when the dies that strike the coin during the minting process are not properly aligned, causing part of the coin's design to be shifted or incomplete. While most misaligned dies are subtle, the more pronounced examples of this error are highly sought after by collectors, who view these coins as rare anomalies. If you've ever come across a 2021 dime with a noticeable misalignment, it could very well be worth far more than its face value. Another common minting error that has been spotted in some 2021 dimes involves double strikes. This occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the dies, resulting in a blurred or doubled design. A double-struck 2021 dime can be a stunning find for collectors, especially if the second strike is slightly offset from the first one. These types of errors are particularly captivating because they represent a clear mistake in the minting process, and collectors love the uniqueness that these errors bring. But it doesn't stop there. Another error that's occasionally found in the 2021 dime is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet, or metal disc, used to make the coin is not properly aligned with the die during the striking process. The result is a coin where the design appears shifted or incomplete, with part of the coin's image being cut off. Off-center dimes, especially those with a significant portion of the design missing, can be incredibly rare and valuable, as they are far less common than properly struck coins. Additionally, die cracks are another type of error that has been spotted on some 2021 dimes. As the dies used in the minting process wear down over time, they can develop cracks that leave distinctive lines on the coin. These die cracks often appear in unexpected places, such as across Roosevelt's portrait or through the design on the reverse. For collectors who specialize in error coins, a 2021 dime with a prominent die crack can be considered a unique treasure. The appeal of these minting errors is not just about the rarity of the mistakes themselves, but also about the story they tell. Each error coin is a physical representation of something gone wrong in the minting process. In a way, they offer a glimpse into the inner workings of the U.S. Mint and a chance to own a piece of history that was never meant to exist. For collectors, that's what makes these errors so valuable. They're rare, they're unique, and they're full of character. But what about the value of these error coins? After all, we've been talking about some impressive potential rarities, but how much is a 2021 dime really worth? It's true that most 2021 dimes are still valued at just 10 cents. However, the error coins, those with misaligned dies, double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, can sell for significantly higher amounts. The most exceptional 2021 dimes, those with prominent errors and in excellent condition, have been known to fetch remarkable prices. In fact, the highest-selling 2021 dime, one with a significant error, recently reached an astounding value of $102,000. That's right, $102,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents. It's a reminder of just how much potential value can be hidden in something that might seem ordinary at first glance. While not every 2021 dime will fetch such a high price, those that feature rare and striking minting errors can command a premium, sometimes reaching tens of thousands of dollars. And with the ongoing demand for error coins in the numismatic market, the value of these 2021 dimes may continue to rise as collectors seek out these rare treasures. To put it all into perspective, imagine walking into your local store and paying for a purchase with a 2021 dime, completely unaware that it could be a valuable collectible. Or perhaps you find a coin in your change at a gas station, not realizing that it might one day sell for a fortune. This is the thrill of coin collecting, a hobby that can turn something as simple as a dime into an extraordinary find. In conclusion, the 2021 USA 1 dime coin is much more than just a piece of pocket change. While the vast majority of these coins are still worth only 10 cents, the ones with minting errors, whether it's a misaligned die, a double strike, an off-center strike, or a die crack, can fetch impressive sums. The highest value recorded for a 2021 dime with an error is $102,000, a staggering amount for a coin that started out with a face value of just 10 cents. It's proof that in the world of coin collecting, sometimes the most unexpected pieces can turn out to be the most valuable. So, the next time you're handling your change, take a closer look. You might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the 2021 USA 1 dime coin. Keep your eyes open for those rare minting errors, and who knows? You might just be the next lucky person to find a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars.